Hello, I'm Manuel and welcome to a new video on how to become a digital nomad. Today we are gonna talk about money, which is probably one of the most important arguments of the whole series. So whatever you're gonna do, wherever you're gonna go, after you have done your travel and you have been a digital nomad, when you will be back, you probably want to have some money in order to go back to a normal life, so that you don't have to go back to live with your parents. That's how it is. So how do we achieve that? The thing is that before traveling, hopefully you have some money in your bank account. And looking at your bank account and your situation, you have to think about how much money you're willing to spend and how much money you want to save or you want to have around once you're back to a normal life. And at that point, you probably you're gonna come up with a threshold. Now, while you're traveling, obviously, you're gonna spend money. So the money in your bank account will tend to go lower. You become less and less. So what is probably gonna happen is that at a certain point, you will sort of reach that threshold. And that will be the time for you to go back to a normal life or start thinking about it at least. That's a big suggestion. The thing is that it doesn't mean that your life as a digital nomad has ended forever. The thing is that you might go back home and then maybe find another job and then get more money and then travel for the next year. So I met some people that were actually doing this, like 6 months working and 6 months traveling, and that's a good concept. But in this case, I traveled for actually a long time and I just spent all the money that I wanted and then I just went back to a normal life. It's actually your decision. But before starting your traveling experience, it's very important to come up with that threshold. So as I said before, you're traveling and you have this money that you want to spend. Now, while you're traveling and you're being a digital nomad, you might be in two different scenarios. You might be in the scenario that you're not making any money, so you're just spending all the time, and so the money in your bank account becomes less and less. Or you might be in the opposite situation, which you're actually able to make money. So let's say that the money in bank account might increase. I say that it might increase because it really depends how much money you're making and how much money you're spending while you're traveling. So you might be in these two scenarios. And the thing is that it's very important to consider that digital nomad doesn't really stay in both scenarios at all times. So the thing is that it's a very flexible concept. So you might be in a scenario, a digital nomad might be in a scenario of not making money for some time, but then might be able to find an opportunity in some countries, work some time, make some money, and then keep traveling afterwards. Or maybe he may be able to, through some passive incomes, to actually keep traveling all the time. So it's a really flexible concept of basically managing money in the end. Now, but let's divide the two cases. What you're supposed to do if you're not making money, and let's also think about what you're supposed to do, what you can do if you're making money. So if you're not making money, obviously you want to track all the expenses and try to reduce them as much as possible. So what I suggest is to actually have a spreadsheet somewhere and try to keep track of your bank account like weekly and monthly, and then come up with the things that you're spending too much money on and try to reduce them. The thing is that you might be thinking, okay, I can just track every time I give money to someone and all the receipts. The thing is that it just takes a lot of time. It's much better to actually look at your bank account at the end of the week and be like, okay, this was not a good week. Maybe I should try to be a little bit more cautious next week. It's gonna be more relaxing instead of keeping track of everything. Now, if you're not making money, it's also what activities can you do? probably want to do all the free stuff that you can do, for example free walking tours, walking around a lot, or in general going around a lot by yourself, also hiking, for example. And what I really suggest in this case is to get in touch with locals, people that are from the area that you're visiting, because they know all the cool places that no one ever goes, and therefore they're extremely cheap, for example. Now let's consider the other case. What if you are able to make money? What you can do? Obviously your chances and the things that you can do are more. You can travel for more time. You are probably living the real life of being a digital nomad because you're also making money. And you can do more activities. You can do more cool stuff. You can go in helicopters, skiing. You can do all the things that you always wanted. But also in this case, I really suggest you to keep track of all your expenses and also earnings in this case. So it's very important to have a spreadsheet and try to keep track on your bank account if it's going up or down. And see if you ever spend it for some time. Well, I guess it's still fine, but just pay attention for the next weeks, so that you might be able to actually make your bank account go a little bit higher now, in the right direction, I would say. So you're probably thinking, okay, this was cool as well. I could kind of imagine what I could do if I were not making money and making money. But here, I mean, what you're probably interested in is how to make money while you're traveling. And the thing is that I don't have really much else to say, if not things that you can actually already find on YouTube and Google, but kind of reiterate them and try to adapt to the situation that you're gonna be facing. So how do you make money out of them while you're traveling? So there are two ways to make money. There is passive income and active income. So passive income, you basically get paid for something that you have done in the past. You can sit around, people still pay you. And cases might be you're a digital artist and you put some money in a website, and every time people buy t-shirts, for example, with your art, the website pay you a fee or something. Other case is that you own a property and you get paid because people are renting it from you, or maybe you are getting paid a monthly fee because of some money that you lent some time ago to someone. These are all scenarios that might be possible and are passive incomes. Otherwise, there are active incomes in which you have to spend time every day in order to basically earn that money. So this is a little probably less favorable scenario that you might, because you're not gonna really enjoy all the time, all the day for traveling, for doing the things that you do, but you might have to do it if you want to make some money. You have to contribute to get paid. So the amount of money will basically depend on your skills, on the experience on the job, and how much people are willing to pay you for what you're doing. For example, if you're a developer, a website developer, you might be extremely skilled, but you're not the only one. So people will tend to pay you a little bit less, even though it might take 10 minutes to make a website. So maybe you're still gonna go for it. But for example, if you are a digital marketing expert for startups, people or startups might be willing to pay a higher price for 1 hour or 2 hours of your work, or maybe they just want an opinion from you and you get fees from being a consultant basically. So these are all scenarios that you can think of in order to earn money. There are also another couple of scenarios, for example being a volunteer, which helps in case you're not making money, and anyone can do that. So you can be volunteering in a hostel, or you can be, for example, an English teacher, or volunteer as an English teacher. If you volunteer in a hostel, you don't have to pay for the stay, and probably you won't have to pay also for breakfast. So that's pretty convenient. It's gonna become extremely cheap for you to live in the place. But also if you are an English teacher And this is pretty common. If you volunteer to be an English teacher, it's pretty common to, for example, in South America and in China or in Asia. In these cases, they will pay you something for your service, and that's also pretty convenient. And basically anyone can do that because they don't really have strict requirements. I was finding also some Spanish people or Germans teaching English in these countries, so it's not. I think I remember also some girls from Taiwan. Anyway, it's possible out there. Just have to look for it. And yeah, being proactive and finding these opportunities is actually the important thing. You have to be the one to go and look for that. No one is gonna pay you to not do anything, except you did something, as I said, as a passive income, or in the past, people just pay you because, well, because you know they want to use the thing that you have done. So this is what I wanted to talk about, all the arguments about money in general while you're being a digital nomad. If you like this video, please smash the like button of this video. It helps me out a lot, and also, you know, it's for the YouTube algorithm. So if you like this video, then it's gets suggested to others, and you let them see this sort of content, for example. And if you have comments, please put them down below. Thanks you for watching. I really appreciate that, and see you next time. Bye.